Should you walk away from your marriage when your spouse cheats you? Hi, friends. Welcome to Marriage Realities, a comprehensive relationship channel. Today's video is all about the sensitive question that plagues you when your spouse cheats you. You're emotionally devastated when your spouse dares to cheat you, isn't it? You're mentally confused and angry about what you should do. Should I stay in my marriage or should I walk away from my spouse? You ask yourself these questions within yourself many times. This is indeed a sensitive option that is thrust on you by the cheating of your spouse. It is only natural that you feel extremely pained when you're forced to take a decision about the status of your relationship with your spouse. You never thought in your wildest dream that you would be debating about leaving your spouse. Yes, this is an unthinkable scenario before you. You're indeed in a traumatic dilemma when your spouse cheats you daringly without caring about your feelings. When your spouse throws loyalty to the winds, you want to get out of your relationship with him or her. You'll be quite justified if you do so. It is true that it is human to err, but what your spouse does to you when he or she cheats on you is not erring. It is blatant breaking of the trust you blindly had in your spouse. And when your trust is broken, you find it near impossible to stick to your marriage. You're furious with your spouse for having cheated you. Your anger against your spouse burns within you so much so that you want to yell at him or her to get out of your life. But you must pause before acting. Because this is the time in your life you must consider all angles of your marriage before coming to a conclusion. You can easily break your marriage, and your spouse cannot pinpoint you as the reason behind your broken marriage. But there are times when certain practical decisions should be taken in your life. And your decision about leaving your spouse is one such important issue you might reconsider. I know that you will be furious at this suggestion, but you must understand one thing. It is so easy to end your marriage. You're justified in doing so, but your life does not stop after throwing a spouse out. It continues even after ending your marriage. You have your children to think about. There are the joint financial commitments you share with your spouse, and your day-to-day survival might become strenuous for you as you will have to battle with many sensitive family issues. It is true that your spouse does not deserve forgiveness after having cheated you, and you're quite justified in feeling furious at your spouse. But your children did no wrong. Your children will be thrown into an emotional turmoil if you divorce your spouse, because your divorce will leave your children a byproduct of a broken home. So, when you have children, you should pause for a second before taking the final leap into divorce. And your cheating spouse makes you all the more confused by begging for forgiveness. When your spouse begs for your forgiveness, you find yourself being unsure about your decision. This video will be showcasing the crucial decision you must take about your marriage. The reality of your situation is there are times you should reconsider your thought of ending your marriage. Let us suppose your spouse had been very loving and caring towards you, and your spouse had also been loyal to you before the cheating happened. You feel it unable to believe when you come to know about the disloyalty of your spouse. Naturally, you're furious with your spouse for cheating you. You yell at your spouse to get the hell out of your life, and you vow never to set your eyes on your spouse ever again in your life. You want nothing short of a divorce. But when the process of your divorce goes on, you're caught in utter confusion. You think back on the fun days you had with your spouse. You look sadly at the lost face of your children. You're all the more confused when your spouse persistently asks you for forgiveness. Once a cheater, always a cheater, so the saying goes. Long ago, cheating was almost always associated with the husband, and the wife was considered as a helpless victim who had to undergo the trauma of being cheated by her husband. But modernity has brought many radical changes into today's marriages. And one such unwanted change is that modern women cheat as bad as men. You can no longer pinpoint women as prim and proper. Nowadays, it is common to see cheating happening in many marriages. It might be the husband who cheats. There are many cases where wife also cheats. You're rightfully angry with your spouse when he or she dares to cheat you. It is so easy to walk away from your marriage, and you'll be justified in walking away from your spouse who dared to cheat you. A friend of mine cheated on his wife. It was not a long drawn out affair. It was more of a physical attraction that made my friend cheat. When his wife came to know about it, she was naturally furious. My friend told me that his wife did not talk with him for months. But strangely, also, his wife did not walk out of the marriage either. I met the wife of my friend in a grocery shop. She knew that I knew about her husband's affair. So she opened the topic about the cheating of her husband. When I came to know about the cheating of my husband, all I wanted was to walk away from him. I was that angry with him. But I had to think about my children. If I divorced my husband, they would lose their father and the emotional security of a united family. And my husband is not also a cheater by any means. This woman had been trying to attract him for days, and one day he succumbed to the demands of his flesh. Initially, I wanted to divorce my husband, but after a long thought, I forgave him. But not before warning him that it was only for one last time. As years have passed, I realized that I had made a wise decision. My husband has never cheated on me after that one incident. And to abate his guilt, he had been an exemplary husband. My children are now grown up. They did not have the agony of facing a broken family. I'm not in any way condoning the behavior of my husband, but I always feel that I had made the right choice. My friend's wife had a very practical approach to cheating. When she had a practical approach, she also saved her marriage. If your spouse consistently cheats you, you'll be justified in ending your marriage. But when your spouse had erred just one time, you can forgive him or her and save your marriage. Did this video make you understand the circumstances wherein you can forgive your cheating spouse? Marriage Realities will have many such relationship eye-openers. Subscribe to my channel to understand your marriage in a new light. Press the bell icon for updates about my latest relationship videos. Make love forever until death do us part your relationship goal.